Let the music play. Da-dum, 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 da-da, da-da-da-da. Mancini. I continue. Yep, that's it. The pink one. Our diamond. The leaping panther indeed. With what essence and aura displayed. With what aggressive obsession just to obtain. Some traditions believe that even the embodiment of Christ. I continue. Toot toot, hey, beep beep. Toot toot, hey, beep beep. Angel eyes. Well, not so much. Crawford say she playing the street light. Neo say Miss Independent. Talk like a boss, walk like a boss. But Betty say she the cleanup woman, whose nightly consolation prize is a daily ritual with that old mirror who happens to sing lullabies to her every night in the words of Fallen, written by Alicia. I continue. Then there's her family, a team of corroborators, misfits I wrote, some specializing in specific industries, having various connections to those in insurance, finance, banking, the courts, law enforcement, even surveillance, and those that are computer geeks. I call them hackers, because that's what they are. I continue. This family feigns mitigating circumstances, as they can't help what connections are readily available to them, when in fact, they are the marauders who daily seek opportunity to defraud those deemed less than. Long con games are activated. Even short con games is often initiated for a quick gain. Next, they appear to target the gullible, the naive, the people pleasers, additionally the greedy, the lustful, the vengeful, and those looking for gain from a little of nothing. At times, even our little ones become negatively impacted. The children, I wrote. There are consistent party favors received in short order, which monetizes daily. The cleaning of money or ill-gotten gain. One hand washing another. Cash changes hand just as quickly. I continue. Within this montage, you will see various characters in place, taking actions in the area specialized to them, such as the hacker, the nefarious broker, those doing surveillance, some showing a lack of shame for their dark efforts. You see red flags, warning signs, in areas that have been infiltrated. A team of scammers in a dark room, hard at work. And for me now, the puppeteer, the puppet master, behind the scenes manipulating. That person with the cards and the snake and skulls soon to follow. Scammers, I wrote, defrauding all, done by the scandalous and daring without remorse. Scoundrels, I wrote, they are. Justice and judgment are forthcoming. Ashe, I'll be back. This video, Flim Flam, or Flim and Flam, or finally, the Flim Flams, I wrote, a couple or group, team and or family. Flim Flam, a scammer, a con artist, one who defrauds regularly to make a daily living. The Ocean 11 franchise now comes to mind with this storyline. Each familiar character has a specific job or role. that this scandalous team of marauders might benefit from, typically ill-gotten gain. Here to educate, inspire, and for observational purposes only, esoteric in nature. But this will not resonate for all. I'll be right back. I hear now Kirk Franklin say, and all the people say, family, silver and gold, silver and gold. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. No fame or fortune, nor riches untold. I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. I continue. To note, I wrote, silver and gold, images and graphs, red flags and trigger warnings, along with various Decepticons is the word I wrote, perceived involvement. Just then I thought of the prophet, the king, and some dare say the magician, Solomon. The successor to David, King David, his father, noted for wisdom, noted for knowledge and power, during his 40-year monarchical reign. Solomon, with none of this pursuit of ill-gotten gain, but with the Most High honored him with oh so much more in riches, in wealth and abundance, even though wisdom was the only request given to God. And then I wrote these words. It was all a dream. Thanks, Biggie. Ha! I continue. Desire, or the desired, and passion. The Flim Flams, or the desired after familiar, had to keep up appearance and image. This was done ritualistically, as angel eyes, or others. The suave, I wrote, the charismatic, the sophisticated, the learned or academic, had to keep up the pressure of desire and passion from its targeted or their marks. And then I wrote, ring any bells, anyone? I'll be back in a moment. Next, we now have the flaunting of ill-gotten gains. Don't poke your mouth out now. It was your naivety, your lust, your avarice, your aggressive greed, also for the possibility of personal gain by giving a little nothing for something. Flim Flam, the marauder, the grifter, you shook hands with. They outpaced your expectations, but was actually the ultimate benefactor, not you. And then I wrote the words, a karmic lesson here? Question mark. I continue. By the way, when was the last time you told your carnal, your shadow, your double-sided self the following, which may have been in a moment of weakness? These are some of the things I wrote down. Have you ever told yourself to stop? No. Quit. That ain't right. Shut up. Be still. Butt out. Or listen. And as I wrote the word listen, I can hear Beyonce and Dreamgirls singing that very song. You have an opportunity, give it a listen. To note, Each of us carry within, I wrote, a built-in moderator, a built-in modulator. Maybe a bit of troubleshooting is required at this time. Ashe, I'll be back in a moment. Flim Flam. Flim Flam's impetus for a successful strategy was the wantonness and greed from their mark or targeting. Checks and balances, I wrote, know thyself. Mistakes are commonplace along many avenues. But if, for example, your mobile phone is a weakness to you even saying no, or presents to you other opportunities to explore new adventures, then just maybe that phone is an issue and needs to be addressed. I'll be back in a moment. Moving on is what I wrote. Here, love is love, yet whispered from the shadows of the inner self or inner closet, I wrote. The crossroads, divine feminine, divine masculine, or something else. Sound illusion, I wrote. Reprobate mind. Caution here. Caution advised. Danger, danger. To dibble and dabble into or within baser frequencies carry with it resounding consequence. Choose, willow or wallow, or remove to a higher frequency where positivity and any necessary changes can take place. Ashe, I'll return in a moment. I continue. The Great Escape, I wrote. See the flim and the flams, the flim flam, scurry through that cloak hall. I hear now. Hit the road, Jack, and don't you come back no more. Even the writer of that song could see the current dilemma now faced. Ha! I continue. The Flim Flam team I speak of, who makes a living defrauding people, the gentleman or the gentle lady, angel eyes, for example, or persons, look to gain off of your misfortunes that, ironically enough, you failed to realize before it was too late. Be it the long con game or be it the short, these characters are not your average bear in boot, I wrote. As in Yogi, I continue. I listed a couple of biblical narrations to bring awareness to subtlety. And these are the choices I wrote down. A, Eve in Eden. And the serpent said unto the woman, Ye shall not surely die. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. Genesis. I continue. Job, as the mark of Satan's ire. This is what I wrote down. The Lord said, Hast thou considered my servant Job? Satan answered and said, Doth Job fear God for naught? Haven't you made a hedge around him, his house, and all that he hath? You bless the work of his hands, resulting in increase. But touch all that he hath. Remove that hedge. Job will curse you to your face. The Lord said, all that he hath is in thy power. But God set the boundaries, I wrote. He set the limits. If we only understood the battles fought on our behalf in the heavens. Ashe. That's the book of Job. I continue. Potiphar's wife against Joseph, the son of Jacob and Rachel. He was the dreamer. He was the one given the coat of many colors, who was sold to Potiphar, the captain of the Pharaoh's guard. But then Pharaoh's wife made continual advancements at Joseph. The wife made false claims of SA. Charles, why are you saying SA? Sexual advancements, sexual abuse against Joseph after he would not submit to the wife's constant advances. Potiphar became fiery over the knowledge of this and over the accusations. And the imprisonment of Joseph, even there, he continued to prosper. You have an opportunity. That's Genesis 39. I continue. Finally, Satan against Jesus in the wilderness. The devil taketh Jesus into the holy city on the pinnacle of the temple, and saith, if thou be the Son of God, cast thyself down, for God shall give his angels charge concerning thee. They shall bear thee up, lest at any time you dash your foot against a stone. Jesus said, it is written again, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. The end was not yet, as Satan returned for more. What about us? He that endureth to the end, I wrote, will be saved. Ashe. I'll be back in a moment. Far be it from some of us to believe we are left to run amok, willy-nilly, in this 3D reality without regulate. That's the way I wrote it. Regulate. Checks and balances. Additionally, spiritual laws designed for our unseen reality are to establish boundaries and territories by divine order, the Most High. I continue. There are stages employed by the Flim Flam team to accomplish their latest grift or scheme, to acquire the ill-gotten gains from the targeted or the marked, whether it involves the long con game or even years, or the short con to take advantage right at the moment's notice. I've got an example. It goes like this. I remember a number of moons, a number of years ago as a teenager. I remember going with a team of guys. We were going to Just Be Guys in Evergreen Plaza in Chicago. I remember we came to the back of a bus and we saw, a shell game taking place in the back of the bus. It was a team of them. We couldn't have known then who was together, who wasn't, but it looked like an easy catch. And me being that person, I waited for the game to finish and I felt like I can get him. I can get him. I had funds, but I'm sure they were limited. The game was going for $20 a pop. Ow! The grifter began to dance a little pea-ball, red pea-ball under some shells. I can't remember if they were little cups or shells. And I watched it intently. He went. But by the way, sidebar, I didn't know what sleight of hand was, y'all. But here I go. He went. And when he stopped, it was my opportunity to point out where that pea was. I may have looked at the guys that were with me. I don't know. I don't remember. But I pointed out the one that I was 120% sure it was. When he lifted up that shell, if a person's heart could be seen dropping from its normal place down to his gut, that's what I felt at that moment. I was now out of $20. Flim Flam indeed, y'all. They're shills, they call them. SHILLS, I believe. And those are accomplices unknown to you as the player. Hyping the game up. Making the game excitable, making the game seem reachable. I don't know how many there were involved, but they were now $20 richer. I would label that the short con game. I don't know how I got through that day, but I don't remember any sorrow. But that moment right there, I continue. Hova said, "It's a hard knocks life," I wrote. What say you? But learn we must. Next, final notes I wrote. Times aren't what they used to be. There remain some similarities, but densities are changing, and that at a rapid pace. Right here in North America, the view of those changes or challenges aren't difficult to see. No third eye is even required here. Close your eyes, even now. How do you see our current reality? This is the word I wrote next. Horrific wouldn't be a far stretch. I continue. If my people who are called by my name, saith the Most High, would humble themselves and pray. P-R-A-Y, I wrote, not P-R-E-Y. There's a difference. Look it up. Then will I hear from heaven, forgive their sin, and heal their land. Your land, mind, body, spirit, your soul, healed, made whole, restored, not inundated with current reality of the matrix, I wrote, or societal norms and attachments of yesterday's woes. I close with this. Culpability cannot be escaped nor simply wished away. When you are found to have aided and abetted what you know to be false, what you know to be harmful, what you know to be defrauding, and yet do nothing to rectify, yet do nothing to warn, yet do nothing to admonish others to due caution, it could become corroborating evidence against one during legal inquiries. You saw something. You said nothing. This has been Charles. We are HypeCentral.org. Blessings are yours to be received. That claim begins now. And there's more. As the best is yet to come.